Good morning, students. Today we will study about propositions. Okay, we will study about propositions in logic. Before studying in details about propositions, we must know that why we are going to study about proposition. Okay, so the simple answer is that we are going to do logic, and logic is actually constructed with propositions. First we do logic in language, and then gradually we reach towards the symbols, and we leave the language behind, and we don't deal with the language constructions or the propositions in language, but we start dealing with the symbols in logic, in advanced logic, you will see. But since you are all in initial class and you are not well aware of about the logical advancements and philosophical logic, that's why we will start from the starting point. So proposition is very fundamental element of logic and reasoning, because in the first class I have told you that we will be dealing with the arguments, and we will check whether the argument is valid or invalid, and hence we have to see the propositions, whether the propositions are correct or incorrect, or true and false we can say, because the truth validity stands with the proposition only. Okay, so these all things will be discussed later on in detail, but today we will talk about proposition. So let's start. What the proposition is? Proposition is sometimes called statements. Okay, propositions and statements are actually same. We will take it as synonyms. This is quite debatable, and in the history of logic, if you will study, you will find it out that both are not the exact same, but a bit different. But almost logicians have one commencement and one treaty point that they have accepted, that both can be taken as synonyms or as an interchangeable terms. So statement or propositions will be discussed in the same sense, in the very same sense, so which we will be dealing in the whole class today. So first of all, we need to know what a statement is or what a proposition is. Statement is called that it is either an expression of our belief towards facts, or it is a claim. It is a claim, or sometimes we say a declaration. It is a claim to give any information, right? So a statement is considered as either an expression of our belief towards facts, or it is a claim to give any information. Means through the statement we claim that we are giving any information. So when we are claiming that we are giving you any information, that information may be true, may be false. Okay, and our expression towards our belief, and that belief is about of any fact, So in this sense we understand the statement or proposition. This is the simple definition. But when we go deeper and when we try to see the whole scenario in a bit detailed mode, we find that statement or propositions are expressed in language. These are the actually expressed in language, and you can't say, means we can't say that a statement or a proposition is not expressed in language, because whenever you just write 2 plus 2, or 2 is equal to 2, or any symbol like this, and if it is not claiming anything, if it is not declarative, if it does not hold any language, if it's not a part of any language, it cannot be called a statement or proposition. So just symbols are not propositions. It must be expressed in language. Okay, so statements, when we state something, it is declarative. So I think that you all have studied about the English grammar in your previous year classes, and maybe up to the 12th or intermediate class. You have studied about many kinds of sentences, like declarative sentences. Sometimes we say assertive as well, or maybe there is some differences. So declarative sentences, exclamation, we say exclamation or exclamatory, interrogation, or questionable kinds of sentences where we ask questions, and imperative sentences, and wishes, and many more. So many kinds of functions are performed through sentences. Okay, sentences are not only for giving information, but we can assert something, or we can declare something. We could be explained, and we can ask a question in sentence. We can we can give order, we can request something, we can wish for something. So many functions are performed through sentences, and sentences are in language. Okay, so when let me write some examples here. When I say Ram was born in Ayodhya, okay, fine. Imagine this is a sentence in language, in English language, and it is claiming something. What it is claiming? It is claiming about the birthplace of Lord Rama. So it is saying that Ram was born in Ayodhya. So there may be the two cases. Either Ram was actually born in Ayodhya. In that case, the sentence will be true. And maybe he was not born in Ayodhya. And in such a case, the very sentence written here will be false. So if there is any sentence in such a kind of shape and structure where it can hold the truth value, where it can be classified as true or false, it means it is said in logic that it is bearing truth value, means it is holding truth value. Either it can be said true or it can be said false. In such a case, it is a declarative or assertive sentence, and such kind of sentences are statements. Okay, such kind of sentences are statements. But when we exclaim, okay, like, oh my God, what happened to him? Oh, what the rubbish, or anything. So exclamation is not assertion, it is not a declaration, it is not a claim, but it is just a way to express our inner feelings, our inner emotions in sentences, and it is not, considered as true or false. Means you cannot say that, oh my God is true or oh my God is false. You cannot say so. So exclamation is not a statement or a proposition. Either it is a sentence. Interrogation or the questions. Maybe I can ask you that what is your name? How do you do? Where are you going? So such kind of questions are sentences. Obviously they are sentences asked in asked in a language, but they are not any declaration, they are not assertions, they are not claiming anything, but they are asking something to someone that where they are going or what they are doing or whatsoever. So questions are not statements, sorry, not sentences. They are sentences, but they are not statements, they are not propositions, because they do not hold the truth value. They cannot be categorized as true or false. So but mind one thing, that the very answer of these sentences may be true or false. Like if I'm asking what's your name and you are saying my name is blah 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 whatsoever, so if you are answering me, that answer may be true or false, but the question in itself is not true or false. And whenever there is no truth value, that sentence cannot be said or cannot be claimed as a proposition. So the very important feature, you can say, or the characteristic of the statement or proposition is the truth value. Truth value is represented as true or false, and sometimes in logic or in mathematics we give the binary number 1 and 0, 1 for true and 0 for false. Okay, so whosoever is aware about the computer science, and if you have studied about the binary number or octane number or anything, you well know that 1 stands for the truth value and 0 is actually standing for the false truth value. So what an amazing thing here, you can notice that whether the truth value is true or false, we call them truth value. It is not false value. So always we give them the name truth value, means we are actually checking whether the statement, the proposition is true or false. So let me summarize it in one line or in one statement, that proposition and statements are taken as synonyms or as an interchangeable term. Okay, so we actually, whenever we say proposition or statement, don't get confused. Mind it that both are the same here. In advanced logic you will see some differences, but we are not going in such a detail or in such a deep kind of speculations or inquiry. We are just dealing with the basics because you need only such an information. So proposition and statements both are taken as synonyms. And what a statement is? A statement is either an expression of our belief towards facts, or it is a claim to give any information. And whenever you are claiming anything, that claim may be true or false. Then we have seen that there are many kinds of sentences. These are sentences. Many kinds of sentences are there. But all the sentences, all kinds of sentences are not propositions. Okay, so mind it, every proposition, every statement is a sentence expressed in language, but all the sentences expressed in language are not the proposition. So what kind of sentences could be called as proposition or statements? Only those kind of sentences which hold the truth value. The truth value, which can be categorized as true or false. Okay, and truth value is denoted by the two symbols T stands for truth, F stands for false. Sometimes we give them a number to represent the truth value, 1 for true and 0 for false. So this much is clear, I think. Let me clean the whiteboard so that we can discuss further. Okay, I am sure you are getting all these things, but if you are not getting anything at all, you can write down your questions, your queries, your confusions, so that those questions can be taken up for the later discussions. Okay, fine. Now let me explain it, how you will understand the proposition or statements. This is a very important feature, that statements or propositions are language neutral. Statements and propositions are language neutral. Why I have written so? Why they are language neutral? You might be thinking about such a claim, that why I am saying that they are language neutral. Well, obviously they are expressed in languages, but they are not bound in the limitations, in the boundaries of the language. How? See, I can say it is raining. Okay, it is raining. This is a claim about a fact that it is raining. You can check it out, outside. You can go and check whether it is actually raining or not. And if it is raining, the statement is true. If it is not raining outside, the statement is false. So it bears the truth value. The very sentence can be categorized as true or false. That's why it is a statement or a proposition. Okay, but the same thing, the same fact, the same claim can be expressed in other language, in other sentence. How? You can say वर्षा हो रही है. In Hindi you can say वर्षा हो रही है. Now see, this is also a sentence, and this sentence is also claiming the same fact, the same claim we have expressed in English language, and the same claim again we have expressed in Hindi language. It is also expressed in other languages, like in Marathi you can say पाऊस पडत आहे. पाऊस पडत आहे. You can say in Bhojpuri, you can say anything like पानी पडत हवे. And then in Bengali, I don't know that much Bangla, but in Bengali the same claim can be expressed in different languages. So this is a homework, an exercise for you all, that you all have to explain, or you all have to express the same proposition in your language. If you belong to a different region in the in your locality, if you speak a different language, then you can tell me, you can write it down as an exercise, that how you will say the same claim, how you will say that it is raining in your own language. This is an exercise for you. So you all will type or will comment, or you all will let me know that how you express the very same proposition. Okay, so this is in Marathi, this is in Hindi, this is in English. All the sentences are different. This is a different sentence in a different language. This, every sentence is different. They are actually bound in their grammatical rules, in their syntactical rules, and they are actually arranged in a different manner, and they are like Varsha is here, raining is here, Paus is here, then different kinds of formations and constructions, sentence construction is there, but still All the sentences are claiming the one proposition, the one fact. Now, it is a matter to notice and matter to think that the proposition is not limited to the language. The same proposition, the same fact can be expressed in infinite way or in different languages, in multiple sentences, the same propositions can be made. Now, that's why we are saying that it is language neutral. Now see, if I say this is untouchable, this is untouchable, okay? See this sentence. When we say this is untouchable, this is a sentence, but this sentence can express different propositions. Here the same proposition is expressed in different sentences, and here you can see that the same sentence can express different propositions. How? Here I have used the term this, okay? So let's think about a scenario, about a situation or a context where this stands for a hot pan. So, okay. So when we are talking about a hot pot which is there, or a electric lamp or anything you can think of. So if this stands for hot pan or hot pot, then you can imagine a different proposition, that this hot pot is untouchable. It should not be touched at all, otherwise you will get burned. Okay. But let's imagine that what if this stands for a man related to a specific caste, then will you say that this meaning is preserved here? Not at all. This meaning is something else, and this is something else. Here we are talking about a man related to a specific caste, and we are saying that this is untouchable. That man should not be touched because you will get dirty, or you can say spoiled, or maybe you are so much superior to that person or to that caste. That's why you are saying and that this is untouchable. So here the same sentence is expressing two different propositions. So now you can say that proposition or statements, the same proposition or statements can be expressed by many sentences in multiple languages, and or you can say that the same sentence can express different propositions according to the space and time or context. The space is different, the context is different, and the meaning is different of that very sentence or the statement. Okay. So now I can say that you are well aware about the difference between the sentence and statements. Okay. So sentences, all the sentences are not statements, but all statements are sentences. Okay. And same statements can be expressed in different sentences or multiple sentences, and the same sentence can express different statements as well. And for that matter, we have to see the context, the situation, that what we are talking about. For example, you might have read about an example in Indian philosophy, that bring the sandhav. Sandhav ko le aao. Bring the sandhav. Okay. Bring the sandhav. Sandhav means two things. One is the horse belonging to the Sindhu region, and the salt or namak, you can say. So when you are having your food, your lunch or dinner, and then you say bring the sandhav, it means you are asking for the salt. But when you are going for a war or a fight, and you are well ready in your dress, and then you are saying with your all the tools when you are going to fight and you are saying in a very loud voice, bring the sand out. So you can you say that you are asking for salt? No. So the listener should see the context, in which context a claim is an order or anything is being constructed. So sentences may be the same, but meanings can be different. So now one thing is visible, clearly visible here, that one is the statements are value neutral, and this is clear that propositions and statements both can be expressed in various languages, in various statements. So what we have to see? We have to see the context and space and time. Okay. So proposition is such a sentence. Now, why we are dealing with these things and why we are making a difference between proposition or statement and sentences, so that when we study or when logical reasoning, and when we do the inferences, reasoning, and so many arguments, in that case we can see that we are taking the correct statements. So we should not be confused that what we are going to deal with. So we are not going to deal with any kind of sentences, but we are going to deal with the declarative sentences, the assertive sentences, where we are claiming anything. So again you can see that propositions or the statements can be of an imaginary things. Okay, why we are saying so? Because when we say that it is a claim about a fact. So claim, when we say claim, it does not mean that we are actually saying that it is the case. We are saying that we are actually claiming that it is the case. You can check it out whether the case is in reality or not. So the very statements can be made about those things which does not exist, or those things which do not exist in the world at all. Like we can claim, or we can make a statement that there is a life on other planets in our galaxy. Okay, if we claim that there is a life on other planets in our galaxy, so it is a proposition. Why? Because either this may be true or this may be false. So it doesn't matter whether we know or we have already checked it out or not, that there is a life on other planets, but there is always a possibility in the future that it could be checked, or it could be experienced, it could be observed that whether there is life on other planets or not. So when we can have the proper and sufficient, what is that? Sufficient sakshya, you can say, or pramanas, or the sufficient we have evidences that there is life on other planet, then it could be said true. And if we have not the sufficient evidences to claim or to say that, to refute the very proposition, we can say it false. Sorry, don't get confused, because I seem a bit confused here. Let me explain it clearly. I'm saying that if we can have the sufficient evidences that there is no life on the other planet, then only we can claim or we can say that the sentence is false. So unless and until we have the proper and sufficient evidences, we cannot refute this proposition, and even if the proposition is about a thing which we are not aware of, which we don't know about at all. Okay, so this kind of propositions can also be made. This kind of statements can also be constructed. So this should not be in our mind that statements are only the facts, and facts are those facts which actually exist. No, we can make a statement, we can make a statements about those things which do not exist at all. Like I don't know if you know, I can't say. If we say God is great, okay, God is great, this is a proposition, but we don't know whether God exists or not. We don't have sufficient evidences, but it is our belief. So this is just an expression of our belief. So there are many people who who don't believe at all in the existence of God, but there are plenty of people, in a number of people, who believe that God does exist. So this is a question of existence, but what we actually want to make you understand of is that the statements and propositions can be of those things which do not keep their existence and which do not exist at all. So it can be of it might be of any imaginary concepts, imaginary objects. So that's why in the initial part, when we have defined the proposition and statement, what we say, it is either an expression of our belief towards a fact, or a claim of giving information about any fact or things. So in that sense, we understand the statement and proposition. So this is the whole scenario. Now there is a very important and very small question. You can think of, you should think, I think, but if you are not thinking about it at all, let me make you realize that this is also a question we sometimes think about. And what is that question? That whether there is different kinds of propositions. So yes, definitely statements or propositions may be of many kinds, but basically we talk about two kinds. One is simple proposition and another is compound propositions. Okay, so compound proposition and simple proposition. Let me define it in very short manner. So simple proposition is that proposition where we claim about just one and basic proposition. But compound proposition is a proposition where there are multiple propositions clinging together or related together. Okay? For example, when we say earth is round. Okay? Let us think that this is an example. Earth is round. This is a simple proposition. But when we say that earth is round and it rotates around the sun. Okay, you can add some other propositions like and. This is also the case that it possesses life. okay, or anything you can think of. So this is a compound statement. What we have done here, we have actually added many simple propositions together. Like earth is round is one proposition. It rotates, it means earth here. It rotates around the sun is a different proposition, and it possesses life, or earth possesses life, or earth holds life. It sustains life, anything you can say. So here you can see that and. This and is a copula, or a term which is actually adding up two or three or more than that propositions together. So in that sense, prepositions are of two kinds basically. One is simple preposition, another one is compound preposition. Okay, so I think this is sufficient for today's class. If you have any query, any question, any doubt and confusion, you can ask to me in the discussion session, and we will see all the questions. We will take all the questions up there. So till then, good luck. All the best, you guys. Take care.